5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It was at the beginning of the 1960s that the plans for a European rocket launching range began to take shape. The space race between the superpowers was at its peak, and Europe was lagging behind. Initially, what was needed was a launch site for sounding rockets. That is, rockets that make short flights into space and then return to Earth. The geographical area north of the Arctic Circle was attractive and satisfied the strict demands made by the European space research community. The launch site should be located in the zone where the aurora borealis occurs. It should have access to a large and populated area for the rockets to land in, and it should be close to a European town with good communications and services. As early as in 1966, the first sounding rocket was launched. An Esrange Space Center took its place in the global space arena. In 1972, Swedish Space Corporation was formed and took over the ownership and operation of the Space Center. With 40 years of experience to draw upon, Esrange Space Center is a unique and versatile European center for space and environmental research, as well as satellite operations and testing activities. Over the years, the center has developed into a small, compact community with hotels, restaurants, recreational areas, and outdoor activities located in magnificent surroundings. The Northern Lights, atmospheric physics, and research in a weightless environment are typical areas in which sounding rockets are used. The large area north of Esrange, which is completely unpopulated, is ideal for launching rockets to very high altitudes without jeopardizing safety. Experiments requiring conditions of weightlessness can now be performed with the help of sounding rockets instead of at the space station. The advantages of doing so are many. It's quicker, simpler, and cheaper. Maxus, Europe's largest sounding rocket, offers up to 15 minutes of weightlessness at a maximum altitude of more than 700 kilometers. Close collaboration with DLR, the German Space Center, has resulted in Eurolaunch, which makes it possible to launch rockets also from other locations around the world. For research scientists wanting to study interesting phenomena in the Arctic atmosphere, Esrange offers both an excellent location and the necessary technical resources. Here, a large number of ground-based scientific instruments, including radar facilities, optical instruments and lasers, regularly carry out measurements in the atmosphere. These instruments are frequently used by research scientists at the Swedish Institute of Space Physics, often in collaboration with other colleagues from all over the world. The research scientists also use balloons, which can lift experiments up to an altitude of more than 40 kilometers. They can be up to 150 meters in diameter and carry a payload weighing several tons. The first balloon campaign was carried out in 1974, together with the French space organization CNES. Today, Esrange Space Center is one of the world's foremost launch sites for studies of environmental and climatic changes, such as depletion of the ozone layer, a problem linked to human activities on Earth. Balloons are frequently used for measurements designed to check data transmitted by passing satellites. Balloons can also be used for lifting up new technical systems to the stratosphere for advanced drop tests, or for lifting a telescope to above the atmosphere so that a much sharper picture of the universe can be obtained. The geographical location north of the Arctic Circle makes Esrange highly suitable for controlling satellites in polar orbits. The satellites pass through the coverage area of 12 of the 14 orbits they make around the Earth every day. Here, there is the know-how and technical capacity needed to track, control and receive data from a satellite from as early on as during the launch phase. The operators can handle more than 100 satellite passages a day, which makes this station the busiest civil ground station for satellites in the world. Much of the data transmitted by remote sensing satellites is employed in environmental conservation and cartography. Odin, a research satellite built by Swedish Space, has its control station at Esrange. It's equipped with a radio telescope for studying the ozone problem, as well as the life cycle of stars, which is important for understanding the origin of the universe. Esrange Space Center also controls the Sirius satellites. These satellites are placed in the geostationary orbit and are used for services in telecommunications, multimedia and television. In the absence of a stationary uplink, a temporary satellite transmission from, say, a football match can be directed to Stockholm Teleport, a Swedish space downlink for television distribution. The European Space Agency's station for remote sensing satellites is located in Salmijärvi, near Esrange. ESA's ground station is run by Swedish Space and controls, among others, the environmental satellite ENVISAT, which monitors the global environment. ENVISAT can provide invaluable information about the atmosphere and about the Earth's land masses and water masses, which can help save lives and protect material value in the future. The Japanese space organization JAXA also has a satellite station at Esrange, since it needs access to its satellites more often than would be possible from its stations in Japan. Swedish Space can offer customers ground stations all over the world via its participation in PriorNet, a worldwide network built up jointly by Swedish Space and the American company Universal Space Network. The Swedish Space Corporation and the Swedish Defence Material Administration have collaborated in the development of a new business area, NEAT, North European Aerospace Test Range. NEAT consists of two individual air restriction areas over Esrange Space Center and the Vidsel test range. Both these air restriction areas can be temporarily joined together to provide an area the size of Denmark. Here, customers from all over the world can test and verify new aerospace and flight systems in a very large, unpopulated area. There is nothing like it anywhere else in Europe. The highly variable assignments make great demands on a smoothly functioning infrastructure, high technology equipment, and not least, highly skilled personnel. Sweden's investment in space has already borne fruit here on Earth, partly by stimulating research and development involving important everyday technology, and partly by increasing knowledge in strategic areas of concern such as the climate and the environment. Esrange Space Center aims at continued contributions to research and development in primarily space technology and issues involving the climate and the environment. Esrange Space Center is a state-of-the-art engine geared to promoting the development of technology, research and Swedish influence in the world. An engine with the power to make your project lift off and fly.